Nervous system. How many of y'all think about it? Well, y'all know how it is with me. Okay, we're going to think about it now, right? Right. Okay, so what we're seeing here, we're seeing a picture of a neuron. And neurons, they're pretty cool. We're seeing like the nerve cell body, the soma, okay? We're seeing the axon. It's going to be very difficult for us to see dendrites and so forth, mainly because, you know, the size of them and so forth. Just don't have a good visualization here. Now, as we talk about this chapter, one of the things that I once again want to make really, really clear, there are the two systems that control the body. The nervous system, the endocrine system. These are going to control everything. So, can y'all kind of see this? All right, because we're going to come back to this. In this chapter, what we're going to do is we're going to look at the structure and what happens with a nerve cell, okay? Because this is going to continue in part 2 with chapter 13. Now, when we talk about the nervous system, one of the things about the nervous system, it is working at such a level that if we were to have to be aware of what this system is doing 24/7, 365, 366 if it's a leap year, okay, we would go insane. The amount of stimuli that this system is dealing with, let's just try to think about that for a second. Stimuli, stimulus, all right? Any idea what I mean?
Stimulating the muscle. Signal. With light, touch, hearing.
All right. Right now, I got some light going on in here. Okay. I got some temperature going on in here. All right. I have, well, think about you guys. Some pressure against your tush from the chair. You may be holding a pencil. You may be holding a pen. We have hearing that we've got to deal with. We've got sense that we're dealing with. Okay. We think about those, I heard 5 senses. No. All right. But yes. No, but yes. Okay. Because the way they've been classified, they're classified differently. Okay. One of the things that I'm dealing with right now, you're dealing with right now, balance and equilibrium. You're dealing with your blood pressure. You're dealing with the chemistry of your blood. You're dealing with the organs working, with your heartbeat. Do you see where I'm going with this? Where am I going with it? Everything. It is having to deal with this on a level that we're not even aware. It's dealing with the feel of your clothes on your back, the shoes on your feet, your hair, you name it. The information that it's integrating is mind-boggling. I mean, beyond anything that I could explain. When we look at this system, with this system, we're going to find that we're going to have our brain, our spinal cord, cranial nerves, spinal nerves. The function of this nervous system: receive sensory input. Now I want to stop right there, because as we continue to talk about this system, I've really got to get you guys to understand it is sensory information that goes into the system. Now, let's hope I don't drop this and break it like I did the other one. Not going to hold. Sensory information. Stuff that we just talked about, okay, that we might think of as our sensory input. All right? This tells me that I've got to have the ability for sensory information for everything in this outer part of the body, okay, to everything to this inner part of the body, go into my brain and my spinal cord. Okay? Now, is everybody following what I'm saying? So this tells me any information that has to move into my brain and my spinal cord is sensory information. It's based, there's some type of sensation. And then this sensory input monitoring internal and external stimuli, the stimulus. So that means, like I just said, all of the information from everything to the external part of the body, everything from the inside going to the brain and the spinal cord. And it's going to be based upon receptors, something that can receive the stimulus. All right? The job, once we get that stimulus, once we receive it, okay, we now have to integrate that information. So once everything can move into the brain and the spinal cord, the job, integrate it so that we understand it. Take, if it was a chemical piece of information, if it was a temperature piece of information, if it was a information on keeping my balance, if it was on the beating of my heart, if it was on blinking to the bright light, whatever that piece of information is, take it in and integrate it, understand it. Then we've got to make sure that we control the muscle or the gland that has to carry out the response. So I need to control whatever that sensory information was, the body does, control it to get the response. So, simplest thing, if I touch something hot, well, that's going to be a reflex. But that still gets integrated at the level of the spinal cord, so I can do that. Okay, touch something hot. I'm not going to do this number. Oh, that's not what I'm going to do. All right, it's going to be, okay, it's going to be that. All right. maintain homeostasis, because we're going to find that we have areas of the brain that are going to be primitive. When I say primitive, that means they are doing their own thing. They are parts of the brain that are literally primitive, parts that they do it all. This means they are going to be controlling blood pressure, pH, the chemicals, breathing, sleeping, the ability to want to go get food, all these things that you know that the body does, but you don't have to control it. But then we're going to have an area in this nervous system, our brain, okay, that's responsible for higher order thinking skills. Okay? It's not based on an instinct. If you're told, have you ever had someone tell you that you're cerebral? If someone tells you that, that means you're probably very bookish, geeky, that sort of thing. I take it as a compliment. Higher order thinking skills, the different areas of the brain that are going to be involved in that, this means our consciousness, thinking, memory, emotions, okay? Stuff that we consider higher order. So we've got all this stuff that's taking place in this system. The parts that we're going to find: brain, spinal cord, nerves, sensory receptors. Okay. Information has to go in, it has to get integrated, and then we have to send information out. Do you happen to remember how I referred to the fibers that met the muscles? I gave them a term, like a car. A car has a what to make it go? I call them the motor nerve, because that nerve that met the muscle fiber to make the muscle contract had the motor end plate. So let's think about this for a second. With the nervous system, the body, information has to go into that brain and the spinal cord. It has to get integrated, and something has to come out as the response. So we are going to find that the nerves are going to have the portion that is considered sensory and a portion that's going to be considered motor, that will carry out the effect.
So it's kind of like a little bit, like people, some people don't have, like, they can like break their arm or whatever, and they just like don't feel it. What is it called? They have a tolerance. And just like, so does that mean, because some people have that, like they just don't feel anything and they just keep going.
Now, people do have different levels of pain tolerance. Okay, this is true. There is a very, very rare disorder, genetic disorder, where people don't feel pain.
Yeah.
Okay, if that's the one that you're talking about, I don't remember the name of it. I'm gonna have to look it up, but they literally don't feel pain. Now, the problem is they don't feel other sensations either, such as having to go to the bathroom. So it becomes, it's actually a very debilitating disorder. Not so much the sensory as it is, I think, the integration. Okay, so a part that'll work within the brain and the spinal cord. But I have to look it up to know for sure.